Welcome to DeKalb School of the Arts. My name is Lucia and it's bedtime for Ballerinas. Before we go to bed, I'd like to share this great story with you called James the Dancing Dog by Linda Maybarduk, illustrated by Gillian Johnson. Once, not so many years ago, the National Ballet of Canada had one director, 55 dancers, 5 teachers and coaches, 3 pianists, 2 conductors, 45 musicians, 15 crew members, and 1 extraordinary dog. From the very first day, Puppy James went everywhere with his new mom and dad, even to their work at the ballet company. James loved being in the studio. Dancers are a very special breed, he thought to himself. I'm going to be just like them. James got right to work. He practiced his pleas and jumps along with the dancers. Look, said his dad, I think James is taking class. Of course he is, answered his mom. Isn't he adorable? All the dancers clapped and shouted, Good boy, James. James felt right at home. By the time he was a little older, James had taken on several responsibilities. In class, he helped his mom and dad teach. During rehearsal, he bravely helped the male dancers perfect their lifts. And at lunchtime, he helped everyone by making sure they stayed in trim dancing form. It was a busy life, but James was a dog for the job. James kept busy at the theater, too. Before every performance, the dancers gave his tummy a rub for good luck, but James wanted to be more than a good luck charm. He longed to dance on the stage, too. Night after night, he watched from the wings as the dancers performed their magic. He dreamed of following them into the spotlight, but they always said, Stay here, James, old buddy. You don't belong on the stage. James refused to give up. He worked doggedly to improve. He grew taller and lost his puppy fat, but even so, his dancer's soul stayed wrapped up in a beagly body. One day, James heard a commotion out in the hall. The dancers were crowded around the bulletin board. How exciting, one of them said. We're going to dance Giselle. Look, James, called another. It's a part for a hunting dog. A hunting dog? That will be me, James thought, wagging his tail. On the first morning of rehearsal, James bounded into the studio with his dad. There, in the middle of the room, stood a long-legged wolfhound. James growled. Why is this wolfhound here? His dad asked the choreographer. He is our hunting dog, the choreographer replied. Isn't he wonderful? He has all the elegance and majesty we need for a ballet like Giselle. What they really need is a dog who can dance like me, sniffed James to himself. Heartbroken, he crept behind the piano. We will begin with the hunt scene, shouted the choreographer. Bring the wolfhound in with the hunting party. James felt worse with every passing minute. He watched in disgust. The wolfhound just sat there. He had nothing with his role. What sort of hunting dog neither sniffed nor snuffed, trailed nor tracked, posed nor pointed? James ached with disappointment. If only he had the chance, he knew exactly how he would play the part. On opening night, there was the usual backstage hustle and bustle. The dancers warmed up, stage hands prepared the props, wardrobe people fiddled and fussed with the costumes. The wolfhound was led to the wings. On stage, please, shouted the stage manager. Where's James? Asked the dancers. They wanted to give his tummy a good luck rub. But all James wanted to do was hide. When the hunting bugle blared, the wolfhound walked elegantly onto the stage just as he had during rehearsals. But in rehearsals there had been no bright lights, no loud music, and no huge sea of faces. The terrified dog took one look at the audience and jumped into the dancers' arms. Stage fright had struck. From his hiding place, James heard some muffled chuckling where there shouldn't have been any. Strange, he thought. James couldn't help himself. He stole a peek. Then the wolfhound scrambled down and bolted off stage. Horrified, the dancers whispered, Now what are we going to do? The audience roared with laughter. I know exactly what to do, said James to himself. Picking up each paw, he pranced nobly, taking his rightful place on stage. For a moment the lights dazzled him, but then his training took over. Spinning in small spirals, he sniffed and snuffed, he posed and pointed at his prey, then he sprang into a roaring grand jeté and found himself just where he had always dreamed of being. In spotlight, at center stage. Bravo, James. Thanks for reading with us tonight. Now it's time to go to sleep. But we'll see you again soon. Sweet dreams and visions of sugar plums dancing in your head.
Hurry up. Ooh. Ooh.
Go. Thanks for reading with us tonight.
Ooh.
Now it's time to go to bed.
It's too blue. Let's do yellow. That's fine.